purple evening sky. At the end of the block was a nightclub with a bright yellow and red pulsing sign identifying it as Uptown Fridays. The man in white rubbed out his cigarette and descended the stairs below the sign. Uptown Fridays was a traditional Japanese hostess bar, a place where successful businessmen in Tokyo came after work to swill American bourbon while discussing politics, sports, and leisure with young, tight-bodied Japanese girls before going home to their nagging wives. The man in white entered the bar, parting floor-length gold-sequined curtains, and was greeted by a beautiful hostess in yellow. Flustered by his unexpected arrival, she fumbled for the phone at her reception station, pressed a series of buttons, and spoke softly and sternly into the mouthpiece. The sound of wooden wind chimes filled the club. Each of the girls sitting with her clients stood politely and put away the cocktails. It was now closing time. The confused patrons grumbled angrily as the girls disappeared one by one into the back room. The hostess in yellow seated the newcomer alone at a large table in the corner. She then turned her attention to the shocked patrons and, like a sheepdog, began to herd them briskly out of the front door. Another woman appeared, clad in a crimson kimono, her face bearing traditional geisha makeup. She carried a bottle of bourbon and a Cartier ashtray. She placed the items on the table in front of the man in white, poured a glass of bourbon, lit him a new cigarette, bowed, and silently slipped away. The man took his sport coat off and unbuttoned his sleeves, exposing an intricate tattoo that covered both arms and continued up underneath the shirt cuffs. The tattoo, a woven pattern of black, blue, and dark green, highlighted with streaks of red, traced the lines of his muscles. The door to the office suddenly opened, and a silver-haired businessman in a black suit emerged. He lit a cigarette as the yellow-clad hostess appeared again with another glass, poured him a bourbon, traded the dirty ashtray for a clean one, and disappeared once more as the man in black sat down at the table. "Konbanwa," he said, swilling some bourbon. The man in white removed his glasses, revealing hard, angry eyes.
"Speak English, you old fool. This place of yours has been monitored by the police for years. There's no need to give them faster information than normal."
The man in black sighed.
"Ever the iconoclast, aren't you, she? What brings you here unannounced?"
She pulled a polished chrome 9mm Beretta pistol out of his waistband and placed it on the table, keeping his eyes trained on the man in black.
"Hito, I can't wait any longer. You chose not to address the problem, and so we will finish this tonight."
Hito stood up from the table, looking at Shi.
"You cannot come into my business and threaten me. I will talk to Kami tomorrow for an extension. Now please leave."
She chuckled.
"Kami, what is that old bat going to do? Write me a check. You will go quietly and honorably tonight. It is your time to join the family of the Chikado, and I want this place for myself. What do you think of the name Poppies?"
As Hito sat speechless with rage, she raised one hand. A wind whipped through the club, slamming the office door shut. She raised his other hand. The door next to the entrance slammed shut, and the deadbolt slid to the locked position.
"What? How did you do that?"
Hito grabbed the pistol from the table, aimed at Chi, and pulled the trigger.
Click, 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 click. I love the empty gun trick. Works every time.
She ran 2 fingers across the tattoo on his left forearm, and the ink began to glow and writhe. Hito dropped the pistol and rushed to the door, tugging frantically at the handle.
"Tasukete! Tasukete!"
Hito screamed at his staff through the locked door. There was no answer. She stood from the table.
"No,